At Battersea, we rehome on average about 7,000 animals a year, both cats and dogs. Everyone here treats the animals like they're their dogs and they're their cats, so it is quite hard to give them up.
Thank you so much.
We're lucky that whenever people come in to adopt a dog, we've usually spoke to them a good few times before.
Okay,
we kind
bye-bye.
of know what they're like and know whether or not, the dog's going to be in a happy home and how they'll be together. My name is Frankie. I'm a Rehoming and Welfare Coordinator at Battersea with the dog team. We kind of manage two sides of the coin. We'll look after a set of kennels with a number of dogs in them, make sure that their training plans are being followed, make sure that they're happy and healthy while they're here. One of the first things we do in the morning is come in and check how all the dogs have been overnight. Hey Ricky. Just to make sure that they've gone to the toilet, that there's no sick, they're not showing any visible signs of stress. Hello puppy. And then on the other side of the coin, we're very customer-faced. So whenever people come in and are interested in a dog, they'll chat to us. We do a lot of matching for people. It works a little bit like a dating website for dogs. And effectively, people come in and we interview them, or they start the process online and then come in for an interview. Basically, what we want to do is make sure that the person gets the most appropriate dog for them, but also that the dog gets the most appropriate home for them. Come in and just grab a wee seat. A lot of people are thinking kind of short term, that we're ready for a dog now, but in a year's time, if they're going back to work or if something else happens, that may not be the best time necessarily for them to rehome a dog. Basically, for the first 3 months, there can't be any major changes in the dog's life. So she obviously was able to offer a really good home for a dog, but they're moving house quite soon, and going from kennels off to a new home and then immediately moving house again can be quite stressful for a new dog. It's difficult looking at a cute puppy who clearly wants to be pet, but you can't.
Okay.
Any questions?
No.
Here we'll make sure that you're set up with the best opportunity both for you and for the dog. It's Max you're here to meet, yeah? Yes. Perfect, cool. Rob came in and registered with us quite a while ago, and 2 days ago he rang up and Max was available, so we popped the dog on hold and he came down today to meet. Max was a year-old shepherd. Max came in because the owners didn't have time for him anymore. So what we do whenever we come to the block is just write up on the board, that way if anyone else comes looking for him, they know where Max is. What time is it? 11:15. And they just felt like they couldn't cope with the dog anymore, so made the right decision by bringing it into Battersea. Ready? You ready? There's your good boy. I'll drop you down. It's alright, I know buddy, I know. We see. He's quite an anxious puppy, so has quite a bit of work to have done. So brave. For us, it's making sure that he's fully aware of what it is he's taking on, and it also gives us an idea of whether or not the owner would be capable or if it's the right fit for the dog. Obviously this is him just out of kennel as well, so there's all this pent up energy, and he's like, I thought I was going on a walk. What is this room? He may never have been in here before as well, so.
So pretty.
We also like to make sure that they get some time alone with the dog as well. Like, it could be the best dog in the world on paper, but if they go up and they don't make that kind of instant connection with the dog, then it's not a dog that's going to go home with them. The best thing about working in Battersea is just that I get to work with dogs all day. I'm one of those lucky people where the 40 or 50 hours a week that I spend in work isn't so I can go off and do something fun afterwards. It's like, this is what I'm passionate about, this is what I really care about, it's what I've always wanted to do and hopefully will always be able to do. You get to make an impact for not just so many people, but so many animals as well. You never start looking at it like a statistical thing. It's not just that, it's another day in work or another dog rehomed. Like, it's every individual dog. Like, you remember their names, you remember their quirks, you remember the families they've gone off to, and it's like, if it wasn't for Battersea, I wouldn't be able to have such an impact on the world for these animals, and it feels really good. We don't bother. Whenever a dog finally does get rehomed, it's a mix of emotions. Like, it's obviously why we're here, and we're really happy to see that the dog's gone off to a forever home, because as much as we look after them here, this isn't a place for a dog to stay forever. You can tell already, even within like 5 minutes, he's more comfortable around you than whenever we first came in. Everybody in the family has to meet the dog, including any other dogs that live in the house, just to make sure that everybody gets along with each other. So Rob's going to go home tonight. He seemed very keen and very interested, so fingers crossed Max will be going home with him soon. Cool. Okay. Perfect. Hey, thanks again, man. See you then. Cheers. See you later. Come on. I feel very happy and comfortable knowing that like every dog that I send home, they're going to be feeding it properly, they're going to be training it properly, it's going to be well looked after, and that it's going to a good home. Once you take a dog from us, like that's not the end of the story. Like there's so much aftercare involved, and we've people that sometimes the day they get the dog home, they ring us because it hasn't gone to the toilet yet, and they just want to make sure that's okay. Or 3 years later, the dog starts doing something it hasn't done before, and they just want to talk through the behaviour with us. And that's the thing. Whenever you come somewhere where it's about the animal and not about a profit, the animal's always going to be first, and therefore the customer's always going to be first as well. I think that's really important. Like there's so many dogs here that need homes and need people to come in and adopt them. If a dog's recently gone home and you're not 100% sure if you know it was going to get along with a cat, or you know how it's going to be with this or with that, it's something that constantly plays on your head, because again at the end of the day this is someone, like this is an animal, this is someone that essentially whose life is in your hands. You have to decide where it goes or what to do with it. I think it's the same for all the rehomers, all the level ones, the vets, everybody that's here. They're here because they want to help animals. It's not a job for them, it's what they want to be doing. If it doesn't impact you emotionally, then it's probably not the job for you. You going to bed? Yeah? Good night.